What were you? You were cutting. You were cutting up. You were cutting up lumber.
Magic Mike Long.
You know what we're talking about.
Yeah, you know exactly. You had a flannel on, a couple buttons on.
Yeah, you had an axe in your hand. You were like sweating.
Yeah,
hey man, do what I gotta
you
do.
didn't. I didn't know what was going on.
In the background, you heard.
Oh, this is a beautiful sight.
Oh,
Live on Facebook, podcast for sci-fi,
and YouTube.
Y'all do something, yeah. YouTube too. Yeah.
Hey, I want you to know there's no rain. We ran out of budget for the rain. We used it all up on what was that, Friday? And
that's true.
Hey, here you go, Moose. Here you go. Here.
Hey,
here you go. There.
Moose, I gotta tell you, when you guys were there, and I was watching the live feed you guys were doing, Gangbot acted like he had never been in Florida before. I mean, like he was being blown over. He was lightweight. He was lightweight. He's like, I've been blown over.
Well, first of all, we spent a lot of money on that special effect, and they did a good job coming through. I want you to know, it wasn't me trying to act it out. It was blowing me. It came out like at a surge. Like we're talking, all of a sudden, I had to look behind me. I thought somebody threw a bucket of water at us. I was like,
I'm telling you, you just never, you never know. I'm telling you, it
wasn't fazed by it.
No, look, it's an everyday Florida event.
Well, so for the people who are watching, we had one video for Instagram, which there was no rain. Well, there was rain, but it was like a drizzle. Right. And then we had the video for Facebook, and it looked like we were in the center of the tsunami. You know, it's like this is Moose here live on station. You know, it's like I have the storm tracker 97. It's like
Jim Cantori here, the eye of the storm in Orlando, Florida.
He's never out anymore.
Where the big mouse rules. Like I don't know. This is what, what it says.
We're expecting quarter-size hail at any moment. The Doppler shows that it's purple, which means that it's very severe. And there's an occasion that a tornado might appear.
There's an occasion. Sweet.
Three occasions.
Yeah, but it was what kept cracking me up was just the people running in the background. That was, you know, the hollering and the screaming, and where Moose is all calm. He's like, yeah, it's raining. Yeah, oh, I'm in a puddle. You know, and you hear people.
Now, I got a question for you. How do we go live on TikTok? That's what I want to know.
Hey, let's Google it.
How to post live on TikTok?
It's a hit refresh.
I'll turn that over to Magic Mike. Magic Mike, hit the refresh button. Describe the refresh button, Magic Mike.
It's done. The free refresh button has been hit.
Prick the pen.
Prick the pen.
Whatever it takes, man.
Hey, hold on. I gotta concentrate.
Oh, there's this thing called, I don't know. What's it called, Magic Mike? It's called ASMR. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know about this. I had no idea.
I've heard about it.
So we're on we're on TikTok. I think you subscribe to one of them. I'm sure you subscribe. We're on TikTok looking at some things and how to, how do we display the podcast up there live on TikTok? We couldn't we didn't finish it because we got sidetracked. And the sidetrack is, I should say this for the podcast. Never mind. I should say this.
Listen, you want to keep going? Go
ahead. Okay. I don't know. You guys ready to go? I mean, it's been a couple of weeks since we've.
Yeah, it feels like a couple of weeks.
I'm ready. It has been a couple of weeks.
It has been a couple of weeks.
Yeah. It has only one.
Last week.
It's only been one.
Yes, yeah.
That would be 2 weeks. If you miss 1 week,
correct. That's correct.
Then it would be 2 weeks since we've been
2 weeks.
And that's new math. That's new math. That's new math.
That's game.
All right. Let's see. All right. Well, let's just go live. Let's just go live and let's see what happens. You never know. You never know what's going to get. All right. ASMR, for all the people that don't know, we're going to talk about it. How about your best Darth Vader out of at least 4 of the movies? Love and Thunder, its opening numbers, and maybe a post-credit scene. We can get into a little bit, or maybe where the MCU goes after that. And then, of course, Game God in Galaxy's Edge. How about that?
According to Wikipedia, a nerd is a person seen as overly intellectual, obsessive, introverted, or lacking social skills. Many so-called nerds are described as being shy, quirky, pedantic, and unattractive. We're here to prove Wikipedia right.
Oh, look who they let in.
This is Podcast for Sci-Fi, where all things sci-fi come to life. If it's fantasy, sci-fi, gaming, movies, interviews, we're talking about it. We're talking about it. This is Podcast for Sci-Fi, and here's your host, Moose, Game God, and Magic Mike.
Welcome to Podcast for Sci-Fi, where all things sci-fi come to life. I am your host, Moose. I've got Game God and Magic Mike on the sixes. I don't know what that means. And
I don't either.
the whole, what do we say? The Illuminati is here tonight. We got to think of something else.
Yes,
something else. Illuminati just doesn't roll off the tongue.
I like it. Let's go with it. I like it.
Listen, we need our own thing, so we got to come up with something different.
Yeah, I agree.
But you came up with Illuminati.
Who did?
No, well, it was
Magic
Moose.
Mike did.
Magic Mike did. Yeah,
No,
I took it from you. No, I took it from you.
Oh my gosh! Here we
It was
go.
you. And
That's
matter
both
of
sides.
Matter of fact,
It wasn't me.
it's like 3 episodes ago, 4 episodes ago, you said it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was Moose.
No,
it was a Moose.
I took it from you.
Yeah, it was Moose.
Listen, we're
It was
trying
Moose.
to give this guy some credit.
Credit.
No
we're
credit
trying to-
needed because it wasn't me.
This is the first time this guy's received street cred in about 35 years.
Hey, my
Listen.
street cred was received when I was right about The Mandalorian.
No.
Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah, that's when I got my
I
street
want
cred.
to tell you, we're giving this guy American Express black credit here, and he's like, "No,
No.
I'm good with just a Visa card.
Hey,
I'm good
listen,
with my
there's
prepaid.
no
my
black
prepaid
to be
card. I'm
given
good.
there.
Yeah, I'm good with a Chime card.
You know me. If I come up with it, I'm gonna absolutely own it.
It was you. I don't know why you're not owning it. It was absolutely you.
It was you.
It was not me.
I could tell you it was you because the one I thought of was so corny. You're like,
It was like the gang.
yeah. It was like the it crowd.
I said
Like
the crew is what I said,
No,
which was just as corny.
no. You
Yeah, that's what I said, the crew,
you
which
said
was just as
Illuminati, you
corny.
said Illuminati. I like that one. Let's go with that one.
That's
And
exactly the way it happened.
And you know what? And I said, "Oh, I like the way that sounds. Let's go
Yep.
with that one." And
Yeah.
Moose
No,
says,
it was
and Moose went, and then
came up
Moose
with
went,
Illuminati.
Illuminati,
No.
just like that. And then that's what it went with.
Oh,
Listen,
man.
my memory's not good all the time, but when it is,
Your
it
memory is never good. Moose,
Hey,
play the
listen.
music. Let's
Hey,
go.
play
Let's
the
go.
music. Here we
Rounds
go.
right now. Play-
What are you playing? I don't
My
even know
memory
what-
works 60% of the time, but it's right 100% of the time.
Wait, 60% of the time it works every time.
Yeah,
That's right. That's right.
that's what he meant to
I'm-
say.
Wrong.
That's right.
He
And listen,
forgot to say
Hey,
it.
I got merchandise, so that's all that counts. I got merchandise.
That's good
I'm
merch.
Game God.
Yeah, so listen to this. So we're together, we're doing some activities. We'll talk about that here in a little bit in the show, but we're looking at TikTok and this ASMR. Magic Mike, you knew all about this. You told me you were a subscriber to 3 or 4 channels.
Just making
So
stuff up
part of
all
the
night
11K.
long. That's what we're
Part of
doing.
the 11K. He's space age.
You
part
should
of the
have a
11K.
channel. You have an ASMR channel. I've seen
no, I
it.
wish I did. I'd like to have one. Listen, so here's
Listen,
the deal.
if he did, Moose would take credit for that one.
Yeah, I would. Right away. So we're on TikTok and we're strategizing about podcast stuff. How do we go live on TikTok? Is it something that's worth it and that kind of thing? And here we are. We're looking around and I put in some kind of like podcast, sci-fi podcast or something, and I go to TikTok live, and here I am. I'm looking, and one of the top live casts that are going on at this time is something has to do with ASMR or something like that. Yes, there he is. Game God. There he is. And they're doing this thing on this microphone. They're doing these little bitty. They're running like brushes over the microphone, like Velcro, and making these noises. I'd never heard about this. This is it got me by surprise, and I ended up watching for like 10 minutes. I don't know what's going on. Like, is this something that we should do like sci-fi ASMR or whatever it's called? I think we should do it. What do you think?
Listen, all I know is I was there when Moose was mesmerized by this enchantress of music and sound.
Yeah, it hypnotized me.
And I felt like we were on Homer's Odyssey, and I'm pulling Moose away. No, don't go over there! Trying to put beeswax in his ears. I don't get it. I don't get it. You know, at that night we did do a little.
Say you don't get it, but y'all watched it for like 10 minutes.
Well, I was trying to put him away. But we did do a little research on it, and I'm like, it is something. It's you know, I think it's called auditory sensory something response or something like that.
Oh, really?
Don't understand.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, listen, I could see a real need for this, particularly for people who have like tinnitus in their ears, things like that need that sound, whether it's to go to sleep or to relax or to, you know, just to have something in the background, kind of like what we talk about. You know, sometimes we just put on a show to have it in the background.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the same thing,
like Matlock.
Well, see, I've tried like the little.
so let me correct. I did say it wrong. It's autonomous sensory meridian response.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
All right.
So I guess there is a technical term, I guess. But see, I've tried like one of those little rain machines, and it just doesn't work for me. I gotta have like TV on.
Matlock. Gotta have Matlock,
like
man. Matlock is
something like that. Dun dun. I gotta have.
Listen, Game Guy's making fun of me because I had Matlock on.
Hey, first of all, I've learned a lot of things this past weekend. One, there's a Matlock channel. Right?
Yes.
So
Yes, there
that's
is.
all they do.
Yes.
I didn't know there was that many episodes that guy can have his own channel. So, and I also learned that Matlock got arrested. I never saw that before. So, so that's all. That was all new to me. So this was a very educating weekend for me, between learning about Matlock and this ASMR. And
yeah, it was very educating, wasn't it?
Yes.
I'm
Matlock was Law and Order before Law and Order.
Yeah, correct. Yes.
He's the OG. When someone said objection, he was like, I already got a response.
Wait just a minute, I got an objection.
Look, he was cool. He was cool daddy.
You know, and before Matlock, it was Perry Mason. I don't know if you know this.
Yes.
Perry Mason also has his own.
Is there Perry? Oh,
yeah, you gotta check that out. Yeah, sorry. Game Guy, you gotta check that out. All right, this is some old school stuff, but with a new school of ASMR. Listen, I'm all for it. I didn't realize this thing existed. I love the little rainmakers and things. That's why I use the Lady in the Box, Magic Mike.
Well, hey, it's funny you mentioned
Lady in the Box. Do anything you need to do at the for the sounds.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned Lady in the Box. This past week was Prime Days. I'm gonna go a little impromptu here.
Ooh,
and,
yes.
And some of us did some heavy Prime Day shopping, didn't we?
Ooh.
I just want to say I did some shopping.
Yes,
coming today, and I'd like to take 2 seconds.
Oh, did you get something? Great.
Yeah,
let's show it up. Show it up. Well, I'll describe it for the listeners of the podcast.
So when I opened today, came in a blue box at Amazon, and it says
Echo there you go.
I got my Echo frames today.
Yes.
Hey, so I opened this thing up. First of all, can I tell you, Moose, you got one of these already, so you know about
the greatest packing.
Oh my goodness, isn't
it great?
It comes in this really hard box, right? And it's like perfectly cut, and it opens like it's like a treasure chest.
Yes,
it's like you gotta open it up. So anyway, so you open it up, and when you open it all up, and you're gonna need to have. I like the case that it comes in.
Oh, that's nice.
It's a very hard, kind of like a leatherish type case. And when you open it, it's actually
a glass case, kind of like
it's pretty wide. Yeah. So I get the glasses, and I gotta tell you, Moose, I actually like these. Oh, So, but I do understand what you say. They are they're a little flimsy, right? Because they're not sturdy like that.
Right.
So you know they bend pretty easy.
Yeah,
right. But I listen, they fit my face.
Yeah.
I was like, that's pretty cool. And so I did try them on, and I set them up, so I can. There's no bass. No. That's the big thing. It's all treble. So, but you know, for what it is, I couldn't tell. Can other people hear it? I guess is the question.
They can, and that's the thing. That's the thing. So unless it's really low, and so unless you're in an environment that is very, very quiet, you could probably turn it down quite a bit, because these glasses attach to your phone, which attach to the lady in the box, which we now know as Alexa, stop, or whatever lady you
Right.
use, whether it's the Google lady or the that lady or the iPhone lady, whichever one it is. And well, it attaches to that piece for the glasses, and you can have her always on, always listening. So when you say, hey, lady in the box, what's 3 plus 6, and then she'll just tell you.
And I'll tell you.
Yeah.
So what I did like is that it picks you up when you speak very well.
Very well, yeah.
Like, you can like barely a whisper, and it'll hear you.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. So I was sad. Now I am concerned about putting prescription lenses, and if I don't know if I want to put prescription lenses in these, only because they're not the best. I don't want to say best quality. They're good quality. They're just not sturdy. So like in the middle, they bend very easy, and
Right.
and I'm rough with my glasses. So to put lenses in here and then they break.
Okay, so then the question is, are you going to use them then?
Yes,
Well,
I might put sunglass lenses.
But,
in them.
well, here's the thing: he could still wear contacts, Magic Mike, and then
Right.
have the clear lenses over it. He would
Correct.
be fine.
Correct.
Well, he's saying he's rough on glasses, so it's like, well, you're going to be just as rough on them. Are you going to mess them up?
No, and I think the bigger thing is that it's definitely not. Oh, maybe it is. Maybe it's not an everyday glasses. I think it's probably the best thing. Maybe like if you're doing like maybe some social whatever, but like if you go to work or something like that, I don't know if I would use them for work.
Really?
Only because again, I'm just
What's
worried.
the point of having them?
Well, I guess because I caught them on a deal, I might as well just wear them out because I caught them
Okay,
price.
During the Prime days, during the Prime days discount for 2 days, they're originally $249, so $250, and they were marked down for a discount of you can put them in your possession for only $100.
Yeah,
so that's good. That's pretty deep discount.
Yeah, and on top of that, if you wanted to, you can take that $100 and break it up into 5 payments of $20.
There you go.
Yeah, so
a lot
either way,
easier.
yeah, so either way, but I did pick them up. I mean, you can't dismiss that price. $100, it won't.
No,
I've
you
never
can't.
seen them. I've never seen them cheaper than that. I've never even seen them cheaper than $200. To be quite honest with you, I think $200 was the cheapest I've seen them. So at $100,
Well, here's my confusion. I feel like I'm looking at Moose because I can see him on the top of my screen, and then I hear Game God's voice saying he bought stuff because it was a good deal, and he talks like he won't use it hardly ever. I'm confused by, is this Moose I'm talking to? Is this Game God? What is going on here? That's why I say,
Yeah.
right, yeah, because it's like when he doesn't buy something unless he's going to use it, or he puts it in the background behind him. So I'm real thrown by this when he says,
listen, this was a very educating weekend. That's all I'm saying.
Speaking of educating weekend, so we had an opportunity of going to, of course, Disney World in Hollywood Studios and enter into the world of Star Wars and Galaxy's Edge. And as we know, folks, that this is a place that is immersive of Star Wars. It fills your mind and your ears and your senses, and it screams at you, Star Wars, Star Wars, Star Wars all day. I don't know. I think something bit me while I was there, and I had to buy some stuff.
Did you have to buy some
yeah,
stuff?
it was crazy.
Bruce?
Hey,
Yeah, it's nuts.
Don't say anything bits you had to buy stuff.
So pardon
That's
me as
normal.
I'm gonna go off camera for those who are.
Yep, go ahead. Yeah, so Moose is gonna get that there, but yeah,
Listen, that's normal for Moose.
So let's just talk about this. So this is one thing I picked up here. This is I'm showing a lightsaber. It's in a white box, which is
a white
interesting.
box. That's correct.
I haven't seen a white box before. And this particular saber, I'm not going to turn them all on or anything like that. This is a cool saber. That's all I'll kind of say. But here's the thing. This saber, they had a lot of new sabers, by the way. There, a lot
of them. Absolutely.
Okay.
This particular saber is one that belongs to Luminara Unduli.
Really?
Yeah, so there we go. She's in Rebels. You can see her in Rebels or Clone Wars. I can't remember which one. Clone Wars?
Hey Moose, but when you got bit by that bug, I also got bit by the bug.
What did you get? What did you get? Tell me.
So same as you, the case, it came in a case just like that, wasn't white. But I had to go ahead and get Kylo Ren. Oh man, because
nice.
That is a classic right there. Listen, and when you put the blade on, the electric crackle that this thing has is incredible.
Yes.
It's incredible. And Moose, I know you have like 50 of these. This is the first time I've actually held one from the Galaxy's Edge.
Really?
These bad boys have weight.
Yeah.
They have weight. So did the bug bite you back, Moose?
Well, Moose, before you go on to the next one, hold on.
Go ahead.
Was that the only white box? The only one that comes in a white box?
No,
That was not. Thanks for asking, Magic Mike. That was not. We're gonna get to that in just a moment. Here, so another saber I picked up was this one looks a lot. Look, I'm dropping stuff. Looks a lot like Luminara's, but this isn't. This is Plo Koon's lightsaber. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. What color is that blade, by the way?
That blade is blue. Yes. Thank you.
Nice. So as you picked up that one, I picked up the other white box, which is slightly bigger.
Okay.
Right? Slightly bigger. Right? And I picked up. This is also one of the newer ones, right? And I picked up. What? Say her name, Moose, because you say it the best.
Who's this? Is this Asajj Ventress?
Yes, Asajj Ventress.
Yes.
Oh.
So that's that one. But here's a fun fact. So she actually has 2 colored blades. Right?
Really?
Well, not really, right? No.
Well, she has one blade that's one color, and then something happens where it gets refocused and it changes a different color. I don't know the lore behind it.
I think it's a different person.
No, I think it's this one because this one is lime green.
Yes.
When you turn this on. But the kicker to this is that you actually can see when it's on the stone inside.
Well, you can see the Kyber crystal. Yes, it's
very cool. The stone. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Moose on this, and whether or not that's the right one that changes colors. When you call it a stone,
no, it doesn't change colors. She has 2 different lightsaber colors because one was also a different color of the same style.
Does she have 2 different stones?
No, I don't think it's 2 different stones. It's 2 different quartz.
Well, we'll move on. We'll move on. We'll just say that yes, it's a Kyber crystal. He's still stuck on that. I don't know why. It's the Kyber crystal that shows there, and of course it crackles much like Kylo Ren's does. It's red.
Really?
Well, that's not red. His is like a lime green, but it's yellowish, lime greenish kind of thing. So kind of cool, right?
Which one? Are you doing it together?
No, go ahead. You're fine.
So another new one, right? Because you got to do them in 3s, right? Is this was really nice. This is his Cal Kestis. How do you say his last name?
Kestis.
Kestis,
yes.
Kestis, this is Cal Kestis. Yes, from the game. How do you not know? Oh my god!
From the game, the Jedi.
I know his first name. I can't believe. Come on, I'm butchering names here.
Yeah.
So
Fallen Order.
Yes. So this is one that probably had the most weight to it.
I would love to have gotten that one.
I can't believe you showed that one before I showed the other.
Well, that's why I was asking if we were gonna do it together.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say something more. I didn't think you were gonna go into it.
Hey, you didn't see the notes. But yes. So this is his so it shows that it's broken.
Right.
Like, and then obviously
very cool.
It's got but wait, there's more. Oh, Moose,
you gonna steal some more?
There's more. Oh, sorry, I didn't know. I was still going here. All right. Well, I was trying to get something ready. Thank you, Game God. I appreciate it. Yeah. So let me show you what we're talking about.
Yes.
Okay,
Mike. This one's nice.
I would have gotten that one for sure.
Yeah, it's very, very cool. But I do have that one as well, which I'm not going to show you because Game God.
And it allows you to double saber.
Yeah, I got that one. But this is the other one that looks just like Asajj Ventress. This is Shadow Maul. And this is what he's talking about.
You're right. There you go. That's what it was.
Does that one have a different stone in it?
Yes, this is red. It's the red stone in this one. Very cool. very nicely done, nice weight, cool lightsaber. I mean, what do you say? It's a lightsaber, you know.
That looks nice. It looks really
Yeah.
nice.
So, needless to say, it was a big weekend of shopping at and I wasn't even done there. We weren't done there. We still picked up some other stuff, but you know, we got to do a podcast about other stuff. We can't just do show and tell the entire time.
That's
But
right.
anyway, very
Why
cool
not?
stuff. And along with you.
Mike,
Why
I'll
can't
hold
we
it
do
up for
show
you
and
the
tell?
whole. Mike, I'll hold it up for you the whole time, so that way you can appreciate it.
I appreciate that. I would have gotten the Cal Kestis for sure. That is
Yes.
nice.
Yes.
They had a lot of other lightsabers.
Mhm.
I think they probably had, besides the ones that we got, which we got, you know, all the new ones are there, but probably 2 or 3 more that were new.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, they had but no, she's not new. They had Ahsoka Tano.
Yeah, no, that's not new. That's
No. But what was
That's
cool is that I got to see it, and it switches colors. That one actually switches
Right.
colors. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, my first time there, and I gotta tell you,
how was
this
it?
is-
How did you like it? Did it not scream Star Wars? Did it not put you in the mood for Star Wars?
So Moose did a great job, can I tell you, as a tour guide, because this guy's been there. I think he lives there, to be honest with you.
I have.
He knew all the shortcuts and where to cut in and out. But with
He's got a
that being
place in the
said,
back lot.
oh yeah, he knew everything. But the experience, I gotta tell you, if you guys have not been there, you've been there. I'm saying for anyone who hasn't been there, right? It is by far worth the trip.
Yeah.
Now I'm talking about the one in Florida, because I have never been to the one that's in California. So the one in the experience from when you walk in, the sound effects, the way the park looks, everything about it screams Star Wars, to what Moose was just saying.
Yeah.
You have every occasion you'll have stormtroopers walking around, and they interact with the people, and they ask you questions and stuff. But you know, the whole experience when we went to I don't remember the names because my first time and I took so much in, but the part that looks like it's just a bunch of shops and they had like a whole
just a
overhead.
market. Yeah.
Oh yeah, man,
Right,
just
yeah.
that, the feel of that, right? That felt like I felt like I was walking the streets of Tatooine. You know,
So
it's like,
did you feel underdressed?
Dwayne,
yeah, no, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was hot. So here's the thing: it's hot. It's Florida, scorching 95-degree hot. So there was some people who, you know, who braved the weather and got dressed up and were in full garb, and there was some people who didn't. But I can tell you that if it wasn't for the weather, I would want to be dressed up. I would want to feel like I was part of what was going on. When we went into the shop where the lightsabers are, the amount of everything they have in there, from helmets to robots and droids and even the, you know, for like I heard, the animatronics, if you want to call it that, whatever you call it, of the characters, they amazing, top notch. It was, you know, and then we go into the rides, and I know you guys have done all the rides, right? So you know,
we were able to do Rise of the Resistance. We're able to do the Smuggler's Run.
That was my first one. Rise of the Resistance was the first one.
Oh, really? Your first one?
Yeah,
Nice.
the first one I went on there, and that is a full immersion. And can I tell you, if that's just a ride, I can't imagine what the Galactic Star Cruiser is like, because they went out for this one. Like, you know, the whole feel, you know, you get you know, for whoever, I don't know if I want to ruin it for anyone who's on the ride, but there's a story that goes into the ride. And you feel like you're on, you know, a Star Cruiser or a Star Destroyer, I should say. And how they got you in there, and you had stormtroopers there and other characters, which again I won't ruin it for anyone who hasn't gone on it. But that ride was awesome. We went on, what was the other one? Star Tours.
We did do Star Tours as well.
Star Tours, but Star Tours, I've been on Star Tours. I guess I've been on it before. They just kind of redid it. That was pretty cool. But the other one that I really enjoyed was the Smuggler's Run. And Magic Mike, what was the class? Who was the character I played? Who did I play? Pilot, gunner, or engineer?
I was going to ask you which one you went for. I'm just curious if Moose was lenient on you or not, and let you pick what you wanted to do.
Oh no, I don't. I think he did, but I think I had no choice.
We didn't have a choice, unfortunately, going in. But
we had a choice of two classes.
Yeah.
I'm surprised we made it with the choices that they gave as a front. So that you get to be a pilot, you get to be a gunner, you get to be an engineer. We didn't have no choice in the matter with the pilot. So just so you know, so some other people
they were already
Okay.
we were lumped in with another group
Already a line of them.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Moose ended up being a gunner and I ended up being an engineer. So I can tell you from being an engineer, because we had bad pilots, I was busy. Hey, those shields were working overtime. And just so you know, I think what did I score at Moose, like 1,700?
Yeah, it was like 1,700 or whatever it was.
Yeah, for engineer
1,640 or something like that.
Yeah. So I don't know what went on in the front, to be quite honest with you. All I know is that we must have hit every tree, rock, and floor and ceiling that we can possibly hit,
or
because,
ship.
everything. And I was just keeping us alive. But that ride I can go on that ride at least 10 times in a row, because it's just that from between being interactive and playing like the video game part of it to the seeing the actual ride itself, and whatever glimpses I caught was pretty cool. And then, hey, anybody needs to go on a ride with Moose, because his commentary is second to none. Right? There's a part of the ride where you take a shot, and Mike, you know this, and he goes, "That was a 1 in a million shot." What was it? That
was a great shot, kid. What am I? You know.
Yeah. So it was an incredible time in Galaxy's Edge. You will spend some money if you're a fan. Be prepared. You will spend some money.
Hope to spend some money, because there's just cool stuff there, you know.
Yeah, there is something for everyone, and probably something to everyone at every price range, to be quite honest with you. So if you want to choose, if you want to choose to be on the lower side or the higher side, I knew that you cannot pick up a lightsaber of this caliber anywhere else except for being like on Amazon and paying like 2 or 3 times the price or whatever the case may be. But to actually go there and see it in person, and I don't know if you had a limit. Was there always a limit, Moose?
It's always a limit. It's 2 per 2 items per like customer, but 2. I think it's 2 same items. So you couldn't buy more than. So if you want Cal's lightsaber, you could buy 2 of them. You couldn't buy 3.
Yeah, but was there a limit of what you can see?
2, 4, 6, 8, 10 of everything, you know.
Yeah, but was there ever a limit of what you can see? Like, oh, I want to see this, I want to see that.
There was never a limit previously. No, now there is. They had where we can
now there is.
Well, at the time they told us we could only hold 3. We didn't really understand that. I mean, after the 3, I was like, okay, you can only have 3 out at one time. Okay,
that's what we thought. That's what we thought.
But then he was like, oh,
that
no,
makes sense.
Only show you 3, and I'm like, that's it? Like, we're done? Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't tell you. I'm like,
yeah. Really? He was like, can we see this one? And he's holding it back here. Yeah, you can't see it. We'll hold it for you.
I'm like, well, I'm gonna buy it, so can I see it then? So it's kind of weird.
Yeah, but nevertheless, I gotta tell you, everyone who's listening to this, you need to experience Galaxy's Edge. You got to do it. You got to take a trip. I know you guys have done it. I'm late to the party. I know this is probably like 12 years old already, but I'm late to the party. But I can tell you that I would go again, and when I go again, I'd pick up just as many lightsabers. If it was my last penny, I'd pick them up. Now I know why. It's very addicting to get.
Unfortunately, I do feel like General Grievous adding these 4 to my collection again.
Listen, hold on. General Grievous doesn't have that many arms. Sorry,
he doesn't. I've defeated more Jedis than you could possibly imagine.
Yeah. So how many you have, Mike?
I don't know. I probably have 10.
He's saying that because his wife is listening. I don't know how many I have.
I got like 2.
Yeah. Exactly.
You have like 10 for real? Man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So how many?
But I gotta tell you though, total? I don't have like 10 of those, and I know that I say that because it's just a different quality. It's a different
quality to it. Yeah.
Oh, how many of these do you have? These particular ones.
Well, I have 4 build your own, and then I only have 1, which is the Dark Saber.
What, build your own, like the 4. Whole experience, like they pick you kind of deal?
Maybe 3. 3. Sorry, 3 build your own.
Goodness, 3.
And yeah,
do you have any?
And only 1 from the shop. Well, you want to trade?
No.
Okay,
so,
then. See, exactly.
So Moose was
but
saying,
I only have 1 from the shop, which is the Dark Saber. That's the only one I have from the actual shop.
Oh, okay. So you don't even have like a lightsaber from the shop.
No,
You
I
have a
don't.
dark saber. So Moose,
Right.
you were the one who said that you had to build your own, and you had the actual one. And you said there's a difference between the two, right?
There is a difference between the two. Yeah, Magic Mike can probably tell you. He's probably held them, but there is a difference between the build your own and the ones that you buy at in the shops. And the ones that we're talking about, they're exclusive to Disney's Galaxy Edge. I have a lot of master replicas, the FX. I have a lot of those.
Right.
These others though that are Hasbro even I think took over, but these, the ones that you can get, they're incredible. They're incredible. They have a different feel to them.
The detail on them is
the
incredible.
lightsaber itself is removable, which like in the Master Effects and that those lightsabers aren't removable. They're there. They're standard. You can't take them apart. So that's kind of, I love that about it.
Yeah, and the blades actually are pretty sturdy.
Yes.
Yeah, they seem pretty sturdy. Yeah. Yeah, I like the blades. They have a choice. I always thought they had 3 choices of blades. I thought they had 3 sizes.
No, sir. There's only 2.
When I was there, he said there was only 2. I'm pretty sure there were 3 at one time.
No, sir. There was only 2, 26 and 36.
Of course, I also asked, anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to go into that. I can almost assure you that they had a short one and a long one, and then they had a medium one.
No, sir. 26 and 36.
Yes, sure. So.
That's how, Mike. That's how it went. This is exactly how it went.
I know as you're saying that, I know it's exactly how it went. Yeah, no, sir.
No, sir. No, sir.
Well,
like he wasn't arguing with him, but no, sir.
So you know how they have like a belt clip to put your lightsaber? I was like, yeah, I said the belt clips. I was like, yeah, that you could call it that. Or I said, what's the other name they call it? And I look at him, and he said, belt clip. Look, and I'm like, they have another name for it. Anyway, just forget about it.
No,
I'll tell you later.
No, sir,
it's a belt clip.
No, sir.
They call it a cover tech. Cover tech. You'll see that.
But no, it was really cool. Yeah.
They call it a hilt holder.
Hip holder.
No,
hilt holder.
No, they say hip holder.
If you Google the word cover tech, you'll see it. Everybody in the Star Wars universe calls it a cover tech. Everybody.
No,
does.
sir. No, it's
But hey, Kylo Ren comes with one. Comes with a clip.
Comes with it. I didn't realize that.
Kylo Ren comes with a belt clip.
Cover tech.
So, but anyway, that was my experience. That was my experience there. I mean, we can go into detail about the park as a whole. It's a Disney park, so it's going to be fun. But I can tell you that that was oh, you know what? I do want to bring up Avatar. I did go into Avatar.
Oh yeah, the Avatar, the main ride of Avatar. So they have like a boat ride that lasts like I don't know.
Stay with the boat.
3.5 minutes, and then they have this main ride that's always like 120-minute wait. We did do that. That was at Animal Kingdom at Disney World. That's pretty cool.
Okay.
The ride itself,
Flight of the Navi.
Yeah, that's right. So what did you think about the space that they carved out for Avatar? Disney. What did you think of that?
If me taking 20-25 pictures of it wasn't telling you that I enjoyed it, listen, it felt like you were there. It really, I was
really.
So when you actually, if you watch the Avatar movie, there's an iconic, that rock structure that kind of floats in water. So they have that in Animal Kingdom, and I was so besides myself watching this thing. I was like, wow, that's amazing. How many times I must have said that? I must have said that.
You said a lot. And then the closer we got to the top of it, he's still snapping photos like it was the first time.
Yeah, I'm like, man, this thing's incredible. Like, because it really, the water's coming off of it, and there's the rock structure and then all the foliage and everything. But I told Moose, I was like, man, they really did an amazing job with this. They really did. And then even going into that ride inside, how that was all structured and it's like a laboratory and stuff like that.
Right.
And the ride itself. So this is both Moose and I's first time riding this ride. So Moose, what do you think about the ride?
I thought the ride was pretty good. I was impressed with the way that they did it. I wish they did other rides like this, as a matter of fact, particularly because it is a screen based ride. And so how you feel like anything nowadays, you don't have to waste a lot of engineering on getting the roller coaster to go up and down. You just have to tilt the roller coaster, and the screen says, we're going down. And that's what it feels like. But this had some other aesthetic things to it, that where you're riding on this flyer. They had wind. They had a lot of. So they had a lot of. I always call it the Twister effect. You know how Twister, when you're at Universal
Okay,
and you went
yeah.
to that experience, they had the wind going, not all the fans. Well, they had these fans, that, blowing at you as well because you're riding through the air. So that was kind of cool.
And mist when you go through water,
when you go through water, you feel a mist comes in. The water,
Mhm.
coming into your face, and then of course the flyers that you're riding, they're actually breathing. So the contraption, it looks like a kind of a motorcycle kind of thing. This I don't know, a saddle for lack of a better word.
Yeah,
It's moving, so it's like it's the dragon is breathing.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
yeah, like when it dove, it tensed up.
It
So
tensed up, yeah.
Yeah, and then when it started to glide, it loosened up. So
Well, you
it
didn't
was
get motion sickness, although I was really happy with that because some rides like that you can really get nausea. It quickly comes to some people. In this case, it
Right.
wasn't. So I thought that was pretty good.
and it was not a short ride. I think it was like a 4.5-minute ride.
It was pretty good.
So-
It was a pretty good
So
ride.
you got a pretty it was kind of like especially being out in 95-degree weather there, to go on that ride was very refreshing. It did, if you let yourself get immersed into the feeling of Avatar, it did feel like you were riding something. And the feel and the fall. It's funny. I was telling Moose when we got off, it's crazy how they can make you feel like you're diving, and that G force feeling, like you feel like you're floating. And you're not even moving. It's like you're just tilted a little bit.
It's just
the
tilting.
screen
Yeah.
moves. Yeah.
15-degree tilt. It's great.
Yeah. So, but it was a very good ride as well. It's one of those rides where if you didn't go on Star Wars, it might be your best ride of the park.
Okay, I was going to ask, based on fandom, would that be just as cool to Avatar fans as Rise of the Resistance?
I don't know. I can tell you that for me, Star Wars still wins. Not because I'm a bigger Star Wars fan than I am an Avatar fan, but simply because it gives a different experience. To me, the experience is better in Star Wars. Although I would rate this very high as an experience ride.
I think
the wait.
Yeah, I think the best way to describe it is that when you're on the ride for Avatar, it's a ride, right? And then the ride itself gives you a good experience, right? But when you're in a Star Wars ride, it's everything leading up to it.
Yeah.
Like the story.
Rise of the Resistance.
Well, that's part of it, right?
You get off of the ship and there's 50 troopers standing there
right
to greet you while you're in the
that's all taken
Star
right there,
Cruiser.
yeah. Yeah, so when you look at
you're
that,
gonna have a couple that move that makes it look like they're all real.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
So from that piece, when you look at that piece, Star Wars wins hands down, right? But I also think that Star Wars came out after Avatar, I believe. So I think the rides. I think the ride. I think Rise
definitely Rise of the Resistance did for sure.
Yeah,
I think both of them did, honestly. But yeah.
So I think what's cool is that I think Disney learns.
Not by much, though. Not by much, because that Avatar piece it wasn't like it was Avatar, 10 years ago.
No,
meaning the ride. Just didn't that no.
The
movie
boat
was
ride
out 10 years ago, but the ride definitely wasn't even your conception.
The only thing I would complain about comparing the two together is that Star Wars is definitely a bigger. There's more to it. Where Avatar, I felt like you had a shop, you had a ride, and you had a boat ride, and
but you got more things in Star Wars to develop instead of Avatar. That's just my opinion.
Well, I think, and we had this discussion too as well. Musa and I was like, they need to make a Star Wars park where there's sections of the park that represent different planets, and I think that you can expand upon that so much, like a Hoth planet and a Tatooine. I'm just gonna say it just like that. I know it's not right. Tatooine planet, yeah. So, but can you imagine every time you make a new Star Wars movie, and you add a new locale, you can add it to the park, and so it's forever growing, and there's so much you can do with it. I think
so. Just for your information, it was about 2 years apart, so not that much.
Yeah, I know it was close. Yeah, but quite frankly, Star Wars or Galaxy's Edge is a larger park, so it took a longer time to build.
Alex in the chat room says something about he says it still amazes me that the monorail is one of the fastest rides in Disney World. Says it's like the third fastest now, and it used to be the fastest for the longest time. Is the monorail really a ride though? I thought the monorail was just a transport system.
It's a people mover.
Yeah, that's all. That's all
Well,
it is.
Yeah,
Well, when it first came out, it might have been a ride, but it's definitely transport.
it's definitely just
Transportation
transport
device.
now. It does have AC though, which is good.
Yeah.
I want to move on though. I gotta move on to something that we brought up. Right, time is getting away from us. How about Love and Thunder? Numbers for Love and Thunder opening weekend. I did not see it.
Should we even bother asking Mike what the opening numbers
Alex
were?
said that the monorail is 55 miles an hour. I didn't realize that.
I gotta say the roller coaster ride in Universal, the Velociraptor, goes faster than 55.
Okay, see, we got to get off the parks. We got to get out of the parks.
Yeah.
We got to get out of the parks.
So, opening numbers. So, Mike, you want to take a stab at what we have for Thor first? Because this is the second weekend it's out that just passed.
So you're talking about opening weekend, though, right?
Opening weekend, yes.
Yeah.
I got some numbers.
I'm going to guess because I think it did better, especially after the last one we talked about with Minions. I was surprised. I'm going to guess 170.
I'm going to go 120.
144 million domestically opening weekend, right? So
Okay.
By far the best out of all the Thors, right?
Yeah.
How much percent drop off? Because every movie from one weekend to the next gets a drop off.
I always say it's about 50% or more. So
Moose says 50 to 60%.
Yeah. So I'm going to say so if we got 140, let's just say. So I'd say 65 million the next week, 75 million.
Okay. And what do you think, Mike?
I'm going to be at 50 because I think that just because of the reviews, I think it did worse.
All right. So second weekend, 46 million.
Yeah. Wow, that's an incredible jump.
Almost 68% drop off, which makes
drop.
the drop off is worse than for the Doctor Strange drop off. Doctor Strange dropped off at 67 in the second week. Black Widow dropped off at 67.8, which is a little bit worse. And funny is Spider-Man, which made a ton of money, had a 60% drop off as well. But I guess it's relative because it made so much money in the opening weekend that there was no way it was going to be able to keep up.
And it stayed relevant for a while though. So even the drop off, it made so much you had to drop off because not a lot of people were as many people were going to see it. To your point, and it's still. I bet you that the continuous drop offs weren't that high for the subsequent weeks because it still made. I think it was number one for like I don't know. 5 weeks, 6
it
weeks.
was for a long time, yeah.
And then it went down. I think it then went back up one. I think after it went down.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right. Yeah.
So here's a list of top 10, and I'm not gonna go through all 10, but top 10 worst Marvel Studios film that dropped off in the second week. So the biggest fall off in the second week for Marvel Studio films, right? So number one, real quick, Black Widow, 67.8. Number two was Thor, Love and Thunder at 67.7. Number three was Spider-Man at 67.5, but it doesn't, tell the numbers. Four is Doctor Strange at 67, and Eternals at 62.3. That's your top five fall off. So
those aren't good. Those aren't good numbers.
Well, the funny part is 3 out of those 5 are just this past year and a half of movies that came out for Phase 4.
Wow.
Phase 4 though is in trouble. I mean, if you didn't see the movies, that's fine. You don't have to. You just know that everyone's mentioning it. That Phase 4 is in trouble. People just don't see it coming together like it did previously.
I got a question.
Well, that's part of the problem.
Who's the main bad guy? Who's the main bad guy in Phase 4?
Well, that's part of the problem. That's probably why we're not seeing the numbers where they should be, or that we're seeing the drop offs because we don't feel a connection. We felt the connection previously. We just don't feel a connection here. And, and I'm hearing things like King the Conqueror is the bad guy, but we've only seen that once. We haven't felt a connection throughout. And so even if that is the big one, I don't feel like it's a good thing because
well, listen, I want to argue.
I think you're right, Magic Mike.
I want to argue that you said King the Conqueror. He came out on the Loki show. He didn't even come out in the movies.
That's my point. Saying. I'm saying people are saying that. I'm not saying that's who it's going to be. I'm saying people are saying it could be that, but we have no lead up to that. We feel like at this point you could bring out, anybody to say, oh, he's the bad guy. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. It's just there's no connection. I think it's very difficult to do subsequent movies on no connections. I think that's the same. That's true for any franchise, for any movie. If you don't feel that there's really a connection and that the storyline is going the way that it really should, I think you're going to lose favor with the fans.
Well, here's the thing. in phase 4, there's only 4 movies left for this phase.
Yeah.
And
Really?
we don't know where this is going.
Right.
And
What are the 4?
The Black Panther, I don't have the 4 in front of me. There's 4.
You
Oh, sorry,
can't
I didn't mean
introduce
to
a
call
bad
you out.
guy at this point though, and finish up a phase. You can't finish. I mean, and
Right.
that might be, maybe that's the point. Maybe they're not going to introduce a bad guy for phase 4. I mean, if we had to go back and look at phase 1, we really didn't have a true bad guy, a singular bad guy for all of those. So maybe that's the point. Maybe that's what they're trying to do. And then, phase 5, they introduce the real bad guy.
Well, I think the biggest drawback and letdown in phase 4 is that I think they went too hard on the celestial / magical beings. And the true comic book fans, I think at this point, without giving them a full backstory, know who these characters are.
Yeah.
Where in phase 3 and beyond and before that, you had your household names. You had your Iron Mans, your Thors, your Spider-Mans, the Captain Americas. And so Alex says in the room, phase 1 had RDJ. But when you look at it,
which is a bigger draw than anything phase 4 had. At all. I mean, seriously.
So
Doctor
no
Strange was the closest that you're going to have to a big draw.
Right.
And we felt collectively here that Doctor Strange dropped the ball on that. I mean, they left
the last one did, yeah.
So there was so much they could have done with that, and I think that what we all thought that Doctor Strange was going to be the piece that really took it to the next level.
It did.
And I
think Magic Mike called that one too, and he called it saying that it should be, saying that he thought it would be, and it wasn't, and so Magic Mike really didn't deliver.
Hey, Magic, you gonna take credit for that?
I had the biggest letdown of everybody because see that's and I'm not sure Game God if it's the magic piece that's the problem. I think that piece was fine. They just did. I mean, they bring in the Illuminati, and for 5 minutes of all of this, and it's like it's just a huge letdown when they do that. So and Illuminati is all about thought. It's all about those other things. So you didn't need to have the Captain America. So I don't think it was a magic piece. I just think that they just didn't go the right direction. They tried to bring in things that didn't fit. They're trying to make it fit. They go, okay, this leads to this. Somewhere in the back, this leads to this. It just wasn't together. It wasn't cohesive.
Well, we're all in agreement that a good guy is only as good as the bad guy, and I can tell you that these movies all felt, not that they weren't great, they all fell short because there wasn't a defining bad guy.
Well, if you think about it, every bad guy they've had has been, well, you're kind of bad, but you're doing it for a good reason, or there's this. And so, yeah, to your point, they're not a true bad guy.
Mm-hmm. And if you even want to dissect Spider-Man a little bit, pick it apart a little bit. No, we don't. But there wasn't really a true singular bad guy in that either. It was a group of bad guys, and they might have even, you can argue that they might have missed the ball with the Sinister Six piece on there. But nevertheless, I think that phase 4 is, in my opinion, come and gone. Yeah, let's, like basketball teams do, let's tank and pick the first round pick. Let's not do this no more. Let's whatever movies on the docket, push it to phase 5 and blend them in.
All right, last thing we need to talk about tonight was Darth Vader. Darth Vader. We recently put up a post in our social media asking you which Vader is your best Vader. Which one did you like better? So to get specific, Magic Mike, which was your best Vader?
I gotta tell you, when this post came up, I was like, wow, and these are some good ones to choose from. If we're gonna go from just the 4 that we posted, which was Rogue One, Fallen Order, Rebels, and Kenobi series, and up to that point, I probably might have said, well, for the few minutes that we had him was Rogue One, but I'm telling you right now, it's Kenobi series for me that has had the best Darth Vader, because we've got to see him more as a character, and we see more of a purpose instead of, we know he's the bad guy and he's going to do it for the.
Just to reiterate what you said there. So your choices were Rogue One Vader, the Jedi Fallen Order Vader, the Kenobi series, or Star Wars Rebels. Yep. So that's bringing in an animation, a video game. a TV series, and a movie. So you really have 4 different, not genres, but styles to choose from. Which one is yours, Game God?
Listen, there's not many times in this podcast that Magic Mike and I agree, and I gotta tell you, I hate to agree with Magic Mike, but I'm with him on this one, right? Rogue One for me, until Kenobi, the Kenobi series came out, Rogue One hands down. We've said it time and time again. The fear that you get from that Rogue One Darth Vader is second to none. Up until you got to Kenobi, and when you got to Kenobi, when Vader pulls down a transport ship with one hand, right, and does it with no problem, right, and he looked more agile. I mean, we can go into it. The Vader from the Kenobi series definitely for me was hands down my favorite Vader.
Yeah.
Well, we had a very
go ahead,
detailed conversation about Vader, right? And so that's why I felt like this was more personal.
Yeah. I think that I think you guys nailed it. I don't think you could get with what we talked about here. I don't think you could get more specific. Although in this Disney era of Vaders, I would I'd argue that he was pretty ruthless in the animation, but we didn't really get that. Doesn't translate always to even a video game. Doesn't really translate to what I want to see it. I want to feel it, touch it, taste it, that kind of thing. And Kenobi tasted it. And so and I think that's the deal, and that if you had to pick your favorite Obi-Wan Kenobi out of the same realm, so if you said okay, pick him out of the video game, out of the animation, out of Star Wars, the original A New Hope, or Kenobi series, you're gonna pick Kenobi series, even though you weren't sold on it, Game God, even from the beginning. You were like, this is kind of melodramatic. It's kind of slow. And all of a sudden, last 3 episodes, boom, boom, boom. And he's one of the best Kenobis you've seen as well. So yeah, I agree with you. I think this is hands down a Kenobi series. And I think, like I said before, you take those last 2 and put them together, you could almost have an entire movie just by that.
Well, I'll pose a question to you guys. If now that we've seen this Vader from Kenobi, we'll end with this: is do you want to see a Vader movie or Vader series, just on Vader himself?
Go ahead, Magic Mike. Quick.
I don't know if I do. I think I'm happy where I'm at. I don't think I want to see a separate series with about Vader.
Nope. I'm all in. Give me Vader. We're gonna do it again next week. Give me more. Next Tuesday, we'll catch us again. Love to see you out there, guys.
I was just leaving.
Nerd alert.
You've been listening to Podcast for Sci-Fi with Moose, Game God, and Magic Mike. Nerds have more fun. If it's anything sci-fi, we're talking about it. We had fun, and we hope you did too. We have to split, but we'll be back soon. In the meantime, hit us up at podcastforsci-fi.com. This is Podcast for Sci-Fi, where all things sci-fi come to life. Come to life.